Record.
Good evening, everyone. Today I'm going to present on space microbiome for astronauts. In the first slide, what is a space microbiome? A space microbiome is the study carried out to gather information about the people living in a space in which it shows various impacts of space travel on the immune system of an individual person by carrying out different experiments. It also helps in understanding about why this change occurs would clarify the possible approaches to prevention or treatments. So, what is the role of microbiome? The microbiome is essential for human development, immunity, and nutrition of astronauts. And the space vehicle and spacecraft microbiome provides insight on the impact of space travel on human health. The gut microbiome is gut microbiome is well recognized to have a pivotal role in regulation of the health and behavior of the host, affecting digestion, metabolism, immunity, and has been linked to changes in bones, muscles, and the brain to name a few. However, the impact of microgravity environment on gut bacteria is not well understood. In space environments, astronauts face several health issues, including stress, high iron diet, and radiation, and being in a closed system during extended space missions. Gut microbiome gut microbacteria, when extract their effects by synthesis of molecules, their absorption and through the physiological effects on the host. Moreover, we describe the role of these challenges in the dysbiosis of the human microbiota and possible uh, dysregulation of the immune system. So, what are the benefits of probiotics and prebiotics? Prebiotics and probiotics both support the body in building and maintaining a healthy colony of bacteria and other microorganisms, which support the gut and its digestion. These food components help promote beneficial bacteria by providing food and creating an environment where microorganisms can flourish. These are two microbes, which are lactobacillus and bifidobacterium. Uh, Lactobacillus is a probiotic bacteria that naturally occurs in the human gut and other part of the body. This bacteria helps the digestive system break down sugar such as lactose into lactic acid. And the bifidobacterium are a group of bacteria called probiotics that normally live in your intestine and stomach. They helps our body they helps our body perform essential function such as digestion and staving of harmful bacteria. The gut microbiome has also the ability to signal the host, regulating the process of energy storage and appetite perception and influencing immune and neurobehavioral function. The composition and functionality of the microbiome most likely changes during space flight. The human body is just one organism, but an entire community teeming with millions of microbes. So there's a whole community of new questions that uh, space fairs need to think about. Uh, in a report released that uh, scientists at the U.S. Nation Academies, the extent of this, they reported site studies like Salmonella typhimurium, known for causing foodborne illness, and it can change its genome to become more virulent after just a few days in space. And studies have also shown that space flight can uh, shorten the shelf life of medications. And what are the effects of space travel on astronauts? Uh, it increased risk of cancer and degenerative diseases such as heart diseases and character, and have been observed in human population exposed to radiation on Earth. Health risks for astronauts from radiation exposure in space are mainly driven by long-term impacts. Designing food for consumption in space is an often difficult process. Food must meet a number of criteria to be considered fit for space. Firstly, the food must be physiologically appropriate, especially it must be nutritious and easily digestible and palatable. Secondly, the food must be engineered for consumption in a zero gravity environment. As such, the food must be light and well packed and fast to serve, and require minimal uh, cleaning up. And foods require a minimum of energy throughout their use, and they must store well, open easily, and leave title waste behind. Food that tend to leave crumbs, for example, are ill suited for space. Space food is a type of product created and proceed for consumption by astronauts during missions to outer space. The food has specific requirements for providing balanced, nutrition for individuals working in space, while being easy and safe to store, prepare, and consume in the machinery field. Weightless environment of crewed spacecraft. Most space food are freeze dried to ensure a long shelf life. In recent years, space food has been used by various nations engaging on space programs as a way to share and show off their cultural identity, and facilitated uh, intercultural communication. Although astronauts consume a wide variety of food and beverages in space, in the initial idea from the man in space community of the space since born in 1963 was supply astronauts with a formula diet that would supply all the needed vitamins and nutrients. There are some types of food, space food. So and fresh food, in the fresh food like vegetables and tortillas and delivered by resupply missions. These foods spoil quickly and need to be eaten within the first 2 days uh, of the packages arrival to the ISS to prevent. And in the rehydrate food uh, is to rehydrate food, water was injected into the package through the nozzle of a water gun. The outer end of the package had an opening in which the food could be squeezed out the package into the into the astronaut's mouth. In natural forms, astronauts can choose from many types of food such as fruits, nuts, peanut butter, chicken, beef, seafood, candy, etc. Available drinks include coffee, tea, orange juice, fruits like and as on Earth, space food comes in uh, disposable packages. In intermediate intermediate moisture, foods that have some moisture but not enough to cause immediate spoilage. Example like include sauces and beef jerky uh, and natural form like these are the things which are available for astronauts. And in thermostabilized that is isonic radiation to keep the food from spoiling. NASA has the dispensation from the US Food and Drug Administration to use this type of food sterilization in the freeze. Uh, Dried food doesn't need to be refrigerated and lasts a long time. To eat freeze dried food, astronauts squeeze water into the food packages. After the food absorbs the water, it ready to eat. Astronauts can use hot water to make hot meals that are um, tasty and nutritious. In what is the space food system? So, space food system is a type of a food product created and proceed for consumption by astronauts during mission to outer space. In recent years, space food has been used by various nations engaging on space programs as a way to share and show off their culture, identity, and facilitate. And the purpose of advanced food technology project is develop, uh, evaluate the deliver food technologies for human created centered spacecraft that will support crew on mission to the moon or Mars and behind. safe, nutritious, acceptable, and varied self-stable food with a self self life of 3 to 5 years will be required to support the crew during future exploration missions to the moon or Mars. Currently, the food system must efficiently balance appropriate vehicle resources such as mass, volume, water, air, and waste and power and crew time. One of the objectives during the lunar outpost missions is to test technologies that can be used during the Mars mission, and this subtopic will concentrate on two specific areas: food packaging and lunar outpost food preparation and processing. Packaging In the packaging, the hydrable and the bite-sized food packaging for bite-sized food is uh, procured from the vendors sealed on three sides. NASA adds the food product and seals the fourth side. Dehydrable, dehydrable and bite-sized foods are packed using modify atmosphere techniques and each package is flushed with nitrogen three times before the final seal at 21 to 29 inches of vacuum, and the amount of vacuum used varies depending upon the food product. Rehydrable packages are uh, procured from the vendor in the shape of a cup and a lid. They are made of flexible material, and the vendor forms the flexible cup by thermoforming the five-layer extruded films over a mold. Packaging Packaging beverage. NASA beverage package is a modified Capri Sun. Capri Sun package made from a foil laminate. The NASA version is longer than the commercially available package. NASA package beverage for space flight following dry beverage powder is placed in the package, and the package is flushed three times with nitrogen, and the septum is inserted, and the beverage package is sealed. Skin protection plan for astronauts. So skincare is so important to the well-being of an astronaut that an experiment on the ISS is now investigating the effects of microgravity on human skin. So skin deterioration is one of the major det- uh, detrimental effects experienced by astronauts in space. The skin being the largest organ of the human body and serving as its protective shield, is highly susceptible to harmful environment influences, such as all of us have painfully experienced with the sunburn. Space itself is a tough environment for humans to survive in, and living in a space for a long period of time puts lots of strains on the human body. Astronauts and cosmonauts living on the International Space Station are constantly exposed the condition that stress their skin to for intense the the constant draft from the station's ventilation system takes its toll on the skin by drying it out and making it more susceptible to space scratches and irritation. Uh, Furthermore, it was observed that the skin become thinner in microgravity conditions. On Earth, we experience a phenomenon that shown similar effect of human skin aging, and these observations lead to the hypothesis that skin in space could be a suitable model for skin aging on Earth. There are some radiation effects on skin of astronauts, and first one is galactic cosmic radiation. So, in the galactic cosmic radiation, um, GCR is a dominant source of radiation that must be uh, that must be dealt with uh, a broad current spacecraft and future space missions within our solar system. uh, Galactic cosmic radiation is composed of the nuclei of atoms that have had their surrounding electrons stripped away and are traveling at nearly the speed of light. Behind low Earth orbit, space radiation may place astronauts at a significant risk for radiation uh, sickness and increased lifetime risk for cancer, central nervous system effects, and degenerative diseases. Astronauts are exposed to iogenic radiation with effective doses in the range of 50 to 2000 MSD. And cosmic rays pollution in the body can be harmful because they can damage the DNA in cells. And a signal cosmic rays has a large amount of energy. If it collides with DNA, it will destroy part of the DNA strand. DNA contains instruction for the cells to function properly. In the solar particle event or solar proton event, or it occurs when particles uh, emitted by the sun becomes accelerated either close to the sun during a flare or in interplanetary space by coronal mass and coronal mass ejections ejection shocks. These particles cause multiple effects. Okay, sir, it almost done. So my proposal is that astronauts' altered gut and skin metaboli must be characterized. This investigation would would culminate in the special probiotic and symbiotic diet plan to maintain healthy microbiota of the gut and special skin probiotics, uh, which undo the effect of skin stressors which they live with. Thank you, sir.